Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're gonna make a crochet Kindle case or an iPad case, or look at that stitch. So pretty, right? I got a Kindle Paperwhite for my birthday this year. I have a hard case on it, but I wanted something cute to put it in. You can use it for a Kindle, iPad, e-reader, tablet, whatever you want, whatever size, whatever version it is. So I'm going to explain exactly how to do that. This one's got a button and a strap, and it's also lined with fabric. No sewing machine needed. All right, everyone, let's get started on making our Kindle cover. Again, this is the newer edition Kindle Paperwhite. This is the yarn I'm going to be using. I love this yarn. It's my favorite cotton. I love that the cotton yarns have a little bit more grip to it. They're really sturdy, but you can use any kind of yarn that you want. I would recommend just something with this pattern that we're going to be doing. You know, nothing too textured or too fluffy. It's a little bit difficult to see the beautiful stitch with kind of fluffier yarns. So just a regular worsted weight, something like that will work just fine as well if it's acrylic. The hook I'm going to be using are my favorite Clover hooks. This is a size E or 3.5 millimeter. In order to start with this stitch pattern, you need to do a multiple of 2. So for this kind of yarn and this one, that's going to be a multiple of 36. But all you need to do is have your tablet or have the size and create your foundation chain and then measure it up. We do want to have a good amount on either side, because then once we make our second panel, we're going to sew up the side, bottom, and other side, and then have enough wiggle room to have, you know, it covered completely. All right, so we are going to start with a slip knot. And like I said, I'm going to be starting with a chain 36, but whatever size you need. Now when you're making your foundation chain, make sure you're letting the hook do the work for you. You don't want the stitch to be too floppy or too small. This stitch does a little bit better with a little bit tighter foundation chain. So I am only allowing the foundation chain to be as large as my hook. I'm not kind of there, you know, if you're using like a thicker yarn, sometimes, you know, you'll kind of bump up that foundation chain. So I have found with this pattern that you don't need to do that with the foundation chain. If you end up having any trouble, you'll know really quickly, and you could always start over before you're more than 1 or 2 rows into it. Okay, so make sure you have the proper foundation chain. I'm going to chain 36. Okay, let's look at your size compared to mine. So I chained 36. That's about how wide it is. We are going to be inserting our hook on the 4th chain in, so we're going to automatically be coming in a little bit. So I will check it with my panel that I've already made. And yeah, we need to start our stitch with this 4th chain in, so it's looking pretty good. So don't count the 1 on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to insert our hook. I tend to go underneath the 2 chains up here, however you like. You can also put it in that back bump. Yarn over, pull through. 2 loops on your hook, it's a single crochet, yarn over, pull through, and we're going to put 2 in there. Two single crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, and all this is a single crochet throughout the entire project. So the next step is skip 1 foundation chain and then 2 more single crochets in the next one. And repeat that. So skip 1 foundation chain, 2 single crochet in the next one. And you're going to repeat that going all the way down. That's how simple it is. All you need to know is your chains and your single crochet for this pattern. There's 1 and 2. All right, then we're going to skip 1 foundation chain, 2 single crochet in the next one. So we're going 2 in the same stitch, right? All right, go ahead and finish that on your foundation chain. I'll meet you at the end. So here's how it's looking. The first couple of rows are always a little bit challenging to kind of hang on to, and once you get going, it'll work itself out. I did my 2 single crochets here, and then there should be 2 left over because we need to skip 1 and then do 2 in our last foundation chain. So if somehow that doesn't work out, then you either skip a chain or you accidentally chained an odd number instead of an even number. So you'll know right away if you did it wrong. All right, there's our single crochets. Now we need to chain 2. So that's 1 and 2. Then we will turn our work, and we're basically going to do the exact same thing going all the way across. Now I know this stitch looks harder than that, but it's not. So we are going to do the exact same thing. We're going to skip this first. So you can identify the previous row single crochets by these little V's. So this is the first one, which is right here, So we're going to do 2 single crochets in the second one. And then we're going to skip 1, 2 single crochet, skip, 2 single crochet. Basically exactly like we did on the foundation chain. And we're going to do that for every row after. There's 2. So you can see, if you see from the top, if you're not sure, if it's kind of coming over the top and you can't quite see it, you're going to say, okay, so it's this one I need to skip and place here. Let me show you with the hook. So we'll be skipping this one, placing our single crochet here. It's a little easier sometimes if you rotate it and look from the top down. All right, so again, continue. You're going to skip 1, 2 single crochet, skip 2 single crochet, and you're going to repeat that all the way down. I will meet you there. So I have reached the end. This is what it's looking like. And this is what the end looks like. So again, we're going to look at the top, 1V, 2V. So we are skipping this one, and we're placing 2 single crochets in this last guy. Now this is not a V, that's just part of our turning chain. This is a V. So this is where the stitch is going to go. Single crochet 2 times. Okay, and then we're going to repeat it. Chain 2, rotate your work. Remember, we're skipping that first single crochet, which is this first V here. And we're going to repeat that until you have the proper size for panel 1 of our Kindle cover, iPad cover, or whatever it is. Laptop case, anything you need. So we're going to make 2 panels. So we have got our 2 panels complete. They are the same size, and so when you get to the end of the second one, don't cut your threads. So we did do that on the first one. We've got our threads. Don't cut your yarn here, because what we're going to do, we're going to place it on top of one another, and then we're going to go ahead and with this same yarn, crochet down the side, along the bottom, and back up the side. And then what we'll do is we'll insert our hook all the way through the other side, like that. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over both loops. So we're still doing that single crochet. Now do your best on finding, where you want to do this in the ends here. So I'm going to do like 2 per row, just to try to keep it consistent. So the point of this, we don't want there to be any ruffling. So if your stitch starts to get wavy at all, that means you have too many stitches. And we also don't want our stitches to be like pulled and really stretched and really trying to get to the next spot. We don't want that either. So do your best and single crochet the sides together, and I will meet you down at the corner. And now we're in the corner, which there's not a lot of extra care for the corner. You just want to make sure that you've got enough stitches to go around the corner so that it doesn't pull it up. Sometimes you kind of just have to see how it's looking and adjust. All right, so that's how it's looking. Continue across the bottom, back up the side, and then I'll show you how it's looking. Last one. And there we have it. Now we can trim that yarn, and then we'll yarn over, pull that through and tighten it down. So there we go, that looks pretty cute. Okay, now I want to show you a couple of ways that we can kind of modify it or decorate it. So I am using this fat quarter and I folded it up in half with my right sides together, and it's the perfect size. And then we can put our little bead of glue. If you have like a fusible, Stitch Witchery, iron-on fusible, if you want to throw it through your sewing machine, you can do that as well. Lots of options for this because there's not a lot of fabric that we need to stitch up. But I know a lot of crocheters don't also have sewing machines, so I want to make sure that you guys can see a way to do this. I just went super light here at the top. Now we can place it inside. I am gonna wait until my glue dries before I put my Kindle in here. Then we can slide this in and see how it's working. There it is inside. Now I'm gonna grab a needle and thread and I'm gonna hand sew it to the top because I think that's gonna be the best way to get a good fit, because the crochet has a little bit of stretch to it and the fabric does not. And so the glue would work if you want to glue it. You can certainly do that, but I think the hand stitching will allow me to just make sure that everything fits perfectly. I'm just using a coordinating thread color and just nicely keeping everything lined up and going back and forth. Finished hand stitching. I'm going to add a little drop of glue in the corners just to kind of reinforce that with the opening and closing of it. And just check on the fit real quick. Another optional thing that we can do is add a button to the front with a little strap that will come around and loop around the button. So if you want to do that, grab some of your remaining yarn. Let's start with chaining, let's say 20. So then what we're going to do is skip this first foundation chain and single crochet in all of the foundation chains all the way down. So do a single crochet. Here at the last one, I'm going to single crochet in the last guy, and then I'm going to make our button loop. And it'll be a lot easier to do this once you already have your button. Let's try to chain 5 first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because then we're going to come back, we're going to flip our work and then single crochet back down. So that is going to be the loop, which that's not big enough. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, let's try 10. And then we're going to come back around. So this has to be able to go around our button, which I think is going to be too big because it needs to have a snug fit. Oh, it's actually not too bad. All right, so I'm going to go with that. So we chained 10, and then we're going to come back and do a single crochet right here in that first stitch. And then do a single crochet in all the stitches going all the way back around. And then you will cut your threads, weave in your tails, and then we will sew this to here. I'm going to double check that this works. Yep. Okay, we'll just kind of mark it for now. Got my finger over here on the back. I'm going to use my needle and thread and some of the glue to combine. That way I've got a nice and confident, secure fit. I'm going to do that on the back, and then I'm going to bring that around to the front, double check the location of the button, and hand sew that button into place, and then we're good to go. This is an optional step too. This is a really great basic tablet or Kindle case without the button. It's up to you. I'm excited to see what you guys do. All right, so that was it. What did you guys think? Did you guys like that? I feel like it's pretty easy, pretty simple, right? I think I need to use this stitch in another project because this stitch is really pretty and really simple, which is exactly how I like it. My favorite way to teach you guys simple stitch with that beautiful result. If you like my videos, please give me a thumbs up or a little comment under here. That really kind of communicates to YouTube that my videos are valuable and that they're worth seeing. So it helps they push my videos out if it's getting good engagement, and that's, a lot of people don't know that. And so if you hear me say that all the time, I'm sorry, I apologize. I know it's really annoying, and I know that YouTubers do that a lot and it's kind of obnoxious, but it really does help, especially when we're putting out free content like this that took a fair amount of time to put together for you guys. And I will always do that, and I'm happy to do that. But you know, like a little thumbs up is kind of like a little tip, or just a way to reassure that you like my content. That's it for today. More crochet coming. We're headed into the fall season. I got so much in store for you. Kids are back at school, so now I can focus a little bit more, even though I miss them. Thanks so much for watching. I will see ya in the next video. Bye!